It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. So here are the Bucs backed up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
Often overlooked and almost always underrated, C.J. Anderson has an impact on games that he plays. Very strong up top, has really good balance as well. I've seen him bounce off of tacklers, stay on his feet, and continue to churn out additional gains. Also pretty effective in the passing game as well.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. A tackle for loss there, 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
On third down, Winston. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. luckynlaie in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Williams to return. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A 71-yard punt return as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be fielded at the 6. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On second down, it's Anderson, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game, right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There haven't been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration. This is absolutely unreal.
I was in diapers. Jameis to throw it. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered,
and down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Kendrick Bourne with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at the 3.
Come on now, let's go.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down now, it's Anderson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. That pick six extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick six, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On the return is Williams. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 112 yards.
Third in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. On 2nd down, Jacobs. He'll have a first down past the 40. The 40. Past the 20. And he cuts it middle and some open room there. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over him.
And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Jameis Winston and the rest of the Bucs set to begin this next drive. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we...
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible
pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Star luckynlaie has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Winston. And he finds Howard complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Winston. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
What's tight? Tight is right. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's at the 30. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. So they dig a little deeper in the playbook there, get the wide receiver the ball, running it, and it proves fruitful.
Love the call. When you've got a guy who has running back skills, you want him to touch the ball as well, not just out wide where you throw it to him. Make sure you hand it to him or toss it to him.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne, his 21st touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Star luckynlaie in on the tackle. Here's Anderson. He's got it on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That second down play nets a -4.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Raiders swarm in and block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Touchdown, Raiders.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Carlson. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend. Get the pressure, get a paw on it, knock it down, and then go and grab it and take it into the end zone. What a play. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Working out of the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw, Winston. His throw incomplete. Jordan Leggett the target there. 3rd down here. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be enough.
Rush comes and they block. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. In for the score as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There are plenty of ways for a special teams coach to get excited. And when you block a punt into the end zone and recover for a score, yeah, he's going to be jumping up and down a big way.
And as a punter, you know that that clock is ticking. He just didn't get it off in time. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So the very rare blocked punt, scooped and returned for a touchdown. What an exciting play. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
It's going to be a long day.
They start the drive with Anderson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. And there are the numbers for C.J. Anderson on the ground last week. 17 carries, 59 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
That one a first down pickup of 8. Draw play. This is Yeldon. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Bucs. In control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Silver Salinga in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. To throw is Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here. There he goes, left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, 78 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they've rallied and made the tackle.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Come on, set. 15, line it. 15, line it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And I want to give the big guys some credit because he deserves it, but where was the defense there? Because he's not a burner.
I think they fooled him big time by handing him the football. It's not normal for him to touch it very often on a running play. I think the defense was just ill-prepared for that eventuality.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. He finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Bradley Pena now. And he's had all kinds of problems just getting punts off so far. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
accelerating and off he goes. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, 85 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Check. Got double tight. 4 down, check, 4 down,
On 2nd and 15 now. Winston. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Winston. And Winston lost the football. That he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Winston, Cleveland Farrell in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football. Yeldon fighting. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And the Raiders in for 6. Touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. And our attention turns now to T.J. Yeldon. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Every time I see a coach challenge a spot, that makes me a little bit nervous for that coach. Those are very difficult to get overturned.
Well, the biggest reason, correct me if I'm wrong, is just technology. A lot of times you just don't have the angle.
Yeah, I think all the coaches, when they want to challenge that type of a play, they want to put the magnets or the things, the sensors in the ball to show exactly where it is. But right now,
I'm going to hit you all day.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. It's the fullback with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, fullback touchdowns have become rare. We just saw 2 of them by the same guy here.
And if you had him on your fantasy team, I'm hanging out with you now for stock tips.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now we look at C.J. Anderson as he trots back out there and gets set to go on offense. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game, probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. From the 22, Winston. And Anderson's got it. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Winston now. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Winston. That one complete to Anderson. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it third down. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Here's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And all the way down to the 39. A big play that time for the Raiders. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try and run with their fullback. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's the fullback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it. have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Third down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points. Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on. It's a foot race. The 30, 10, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But it's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup? We won't put up a fight. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, 54 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at the 3. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
I can't believe they even let you play. Let's go.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Yeldon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, we've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing, Winston. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Cleveland Farrell in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. You got to keep pounding away.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
A big pickup of 38. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's a Another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
60 or.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
Hey, Rocket.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one fielded at the 5. So out come the Bucs now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down.
And the Raiders have got him. Cleveland Farrell racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
After the sack on first down, Winston, and he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Winston, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 23.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw.
All right, T, let's try. All right, T.
Under 10. Under 10. 10. Ready.
He's got a first down and more inside the 30. 33 yards that time.
Let's go.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
General West. On the bucket.
Now Hall operating from the gun. Dancing into the end zone. Oakland Raiders touchdown.
He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
A drive there of just 4 plays and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's into the hands of the tight end, Leggett. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no first down. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Williams to return. And he's loose again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. That'll go down as a 92-yard punt return score as his guys continue to pour it on.
Partner, the old rules about not fielding punts inside your own 10, those things are way out the window, aren't they?
Yeah, they say put your heels on the 10-yard line, but when you return it, maybe your coach doesn't say anything to you, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of special teams coach, if they've got a special guy, they'll say, yeah, okay, you can go to the 8. But this one, he really had some guts.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Come on here, come get some. Come get some. Come on here, come get some.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Let's go. 8, read.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D, man up.
Shoot.
Throwing on first down. Hall. Buying time to his left. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right because we...
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Key to tight end.
He'll drop to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Jameis to throw it. Cleveland Farrell, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche. An avalanche that's coming right on top of them. And what they're challenging here is the spot of the ball, and this is probably the hardest challenge to win.
So difficult because the speed of the game, the angles of the cameras, your angle from the sideline watching the play can often fool you into thinking that the ball should be placed in a different spot. Partner, the head coach is out of challenges now for the rest of the game. I'm not too sure he wouldn't like to have a few more challenges in his pocket.
And when they first started challenges in the NFL, people were wondering what's the right amount.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there is a flat-out determination, but I do like where we are because I think it does leave strategy in the game, and the head coach has to make a decision about when exactly is the right time to pull the challenge flag.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. On 1st and 10, Hall being chased out left. He's got a first down and then some in midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college, but I think with more of the melding.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will take it back only to about the 13. Yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And they'll try to fire up the running game with C.J. Anderson. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
You ready?
45's the mic. Check. 45's the mic. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day offense.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You're going over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch the whip.
Pilot, 64, weak. Now.
Hall now. Going to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30. And all the way up to the 37-yard line. Able to find a lot of empty space there. Picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he's down the numbers. There he goes. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders.
big run here in the fourth as they continue to wear down this defense.
And that's when the offensive line coach clicks onto the headset and says, head coach, offense coordinator, let my guys fire out and hit people. We're wearing them down. Let's finish them off with the running game.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. It's their quarterback finding the end zone yet again as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line.
Let's go, baby.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Winston, and that will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And there he goes again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. An impressive punt return of 76 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is fielded at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Mike 54. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
Shoot.
First down. Here's the run with Martin. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Doug Martin, his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No,
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
To throw it is Hall on 1st down. Goes underneath to Martin. The 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Again, it's Martin. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind. But he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
They don't want it. They don't want
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move up.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Martin. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 24. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just... One remaining here in this fourth quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
You're not ready.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 47. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get.
Let's go now. 8, read.
What's my name? What's my name? Okay.
Ready, ready.
There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? Well, this nowhere to his escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word.
And the pressure gets to him again. Max Crosby, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Another toe here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But you know, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Martin with the potential to really help this Raider running game as they come up here 1st and 10. Back to throw. Hall. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, his 21st touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like...
Touchdown, Oakland. Daniel Carlson on for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A shotgun handoff now to Yeldon. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he finds Howard complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll throw again. Winston. And that is incomplete.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On the return is Williams. And he's loose again. Touchdown, Raiders.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on his drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's something that there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To the air again with Winston. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Bud Dupree leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Hall on 3rd down. And an alley to run. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the 4th down in New Orleans. And the Saints have scored again, enjoying a comfortable cushion. Jimmy Garoppolo, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. Here's Hall on 1st and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Raiders,
yeah. Wanna been a business.